to Femmes into Play. Today we have another guest with us, Bley, and his type is close to ours. It's off by 2 coins. He is NETI, consume, play, blast, masculine, feminine, audio. So he's off in that we're INTPs and he's an ENTP, and he's audio and we're double feminine. So this has been a really interesting one, and we've had lots of fun discussions with Bley and getting to know him. And then amongst the femmes, we've had lots of debates as to like what we think his social is. But before we start, Bley, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Bley. I also live in New York City. Hi, guys. Hi. I also live in New York City like Melanie, and I moved to New York City to be an artist. I think I'm going to stick to like OP and personality realm, because if I talk about my life, I'll just go on forever. So I've been into OP so in 2011, I was just like browsing YouTube for videos on MBTI, and Dave had some videos without his face in it. And it was just him blabbing on, and I thought it was fascinating. And so I subscribed, and then I waited, and then he had a trailer to OP, and then that's just how I got involved in it. It was a really long time ago, and I had a lot of fucking patience. So I got type 2 years ago, and I largely agree with everything about my type, but my social type, I'm actually really open. I have no idea I have an idea, you know what I mean? We all have our biases, and it comes to mind, and I've been trying to track my pattern as best I can. But it's new enough where I'm still very open to what other people are saying, which usually I'm not, because I'm a horrible, horrible person.
Awful.
So, and I'm from Brazil, but I've lived in the U.S. since I was 14 years old, and I've lived all over.
Yeah, and we love you, so.
Thank you so much. I hate all of you.
As you should. All right. Well, this time, Sasha did some really interesting preparation in the gathering of a few questions from us. So would you like
just an experiment?
Yeah, fun play way to do it. So go ahead.
Sasha. All right, very good. You're part of my experiment. So just humor me. I don't know how well this is going to work at all. Each one of us thought of a question, and all of us answered it. And how we answered it was just our first kind of default reaction. Okay, so don't think about it too much. We didn't skip too much. We just did a short answer. So that's how we answered it. I'll ask you the 4 questions, and then once you respond to the first one, I'll share my Google Doc. I'm laughing because this is the first time I'm going to attempt sharing a Google Doc while being filmed, so that'll be fun for me.
We all are intuitive dominant, so we share your struggles. I probably share them a little bit more than others, because you bitches are deciders, but
yes. Yeah. I think, yeah, it doesn't stress us out as much, but we still.
No, for me, it's like...
Yeah. So, sir, are you ready for the first question?
Sure. Who's going to start? Is it me, or are you going to read their answers? Or...
I'm going to read the question, and you're going to respond.
Okay.
And then I'm going to share our answers with you after the first question, and then after the second question, after the third question. And there's 4 total.
Okay, period.
Okay.
Sorry,
like
which one, like if they are congruent with like similar to a certain social type that we each have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so if your answer we're going to see is similar to which one of our answers or not at all.
Okay, now I'm getting it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting it. Okay.
And
Love the brick wall behind you, by the way. It's very
know,
goth.
right?
It's very fun. Yeah, it's like a black brick wall. It's like better than mine, to be honest. But okay,
oh my
go
gosh, we both have that.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So clear your mind. And just, I mean, you seem to be a very real person, so I don't really have to tell you to just be real and come out with your very first response. So.
Sleep blast. Just sleep blast it.
Just sleep blast. Okay. Number 1. When did you begin your career focus?
As early as I can remember. You know, as early as I can remember. As early as I had an understanding of what the Oscars were. Because I remember probably 5 or 4, I was like, I want to be there. And we would watch the Oscars as a family. And I have a very, very clear memory of like, that's where I want to be. That's where I'm going to be. And I'm going to burn the world down if I don't get there.
Wow. Okay. Let me share that question with everybody. Let's read our own. Okay.
So Magda,
I will start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm probably one social one, so I will start with my answer for the question about when did you begin your career focus. So my first reaction for that question was that after I finished school, I had to choose which field of study I wanted to pursue. The most reasonable field was in STEM. After I graduated, I wanted to stay at university, but there was no good opportunity for me at that time. So I applied to some companies, and that's how I became an engineer.
Awesome.
Reasonable, yeah.
Reasonable.
Like,
I love it.
Yeah, reason.
Yeah, period.
Okay, number 2. When did you begin your career focus? From childhood. Sounds similar to you. I always knew as a kid that's what I was aiming for and researched the most practical way to do it the way I wanted to do it, aka not the corny musical theater way, but to be a badass. I always wanted to be a badass as long as I could remember. My first memorable character, actually Bley, this is...
Oh, she froze. Oh,
second grade. Oh. She let... From my understanding that I can remember now, because it's been a long time since second grade, she let colonizers take over to keep her people safe. And I think her pain, I just remember being a really intense kid. Her pain in that moment was important to express.
I think I missed something. Are you talking about who?
Queen Liliuokalani.
Oh, fun. Right. Okay, I missed that part. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. So
I was going to guess Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3. I was interested in animals since I was a child. I was first interested in animal behavior in early grade school. Also was a writer and artist as a kid. That's all I wrote.
Okay, good.
And Sasha, I'm so sorry, and it's probably because of how I wrote it. There's a little bit missing in the middle. Here's the SI proof. Can I read from my phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's kill Sasha.
It's probably
that's a great solution.
I wrote it in pieces and I don't know. Okay. My answer is 2 years ago is when I actively started working on it. She put YouTube. Yeah. When I was a kid, I would write murder mysteries, and so never stopped writing in my life, though it was incredibly sporadic. And then in grad school was when I was kind of ramping up my writing and took a break for a few years while I painted. And sorry, because I kind of see narrative structure as being tied in with my long-term desire to be a writer. But I came up with narrative structure because of writing, so that's why. Maybe that's why you deleted the writer part.
There were 3 different responses. I think I just missed one.
Oh, I see. You thought they were separate. It was just me being really skibby with my response, so I apologize.
I was like, well, where?
Yeah.
Can you define narrative structure?
Oh, okay, sorry. This is like my flex last, I think, but it's like, my plan right now is to create a YouTube. It's what I've been working on solely for 2 years. Been working on it for like 5 maybe, where I changed the heroes. I believe that I have revamped the hero's journey to 100% map every part of every story narratively.
Do you feel a little naked when you share your TI like I do?
Oh my God, yeah, right?
Yeah,
right?
Like, it's like, oh, I have to go. And it's like, you see the iceberg of information that you have to like all of a sudden boil down to a couple sentences. And you're like, bitch, I've been working on this for like years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I could see it. And I totally see what you're saying. And power to you. I'm very interested in that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yay.
Whose answer do you feel like you resonated with? Anybody's? I kind of feel like you resonated with somebody's there, but did you?
Melania
feel like
Trump and Sasha. Yeah. Definitely Melania and Sash.
Can I say what I was looking for?
Yeah.
I was looking for how early we started, because a big debate in our chat has been he's specialized. High, because he has been working on his career path for some time. But me, Melanie and Sasha both have been working on their chosen career path.
And that goes with DI to an extent.
Exactly, right? So that's, it's like, how do you separate exactly what's the socials and what's our similarities because of that?
Yeah.
Because we all have that internal, like, city, let's say, of TI that we're building constantly, and we have been since our childhood. And I related to Sasha in like, I always had a special interest in animals. I do too. You know, I grew up in the Amazon. I've always been interested in animals as well. So we have our little areas of special interest that we've been building for so long. And so what is just our TI and what is our social like need to be whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
You just blew our minds by like talking about TI so like clearly, by the way. It's like I saw all guys that go, that is TI shit.
Isn't it though? I mean, correct me if I'm ass.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
Ready for question 2?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna mark down a vote for 2 and 3.
I like it. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Clear your mind. No, I'm joking. All right. What do you think, or how do you feel about the concept of networking in order to further your goals career-wise?
Fucking kill me. The fuck? I don't want to fucking network. I don't want to fucking... Ooh, can you please follow me? Follow me. Oh, like and subscribe. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fucking shit? And I have to go expose my fucking TI to all these motherfuckers that don't know shit about shit? Ew! Oh, God. Gag me.
I think that's beautiful. I will go ahead and share the response.
Sorry.
The response.
Oh, no.
Totally cool.
You better be sorry.
Let me do this and share.
Because it feels like you're humiliating yourself, doesn't it? A little bit? I mean, to me it does. To me, it feels like I have to like pander and lower myself and pretend that I'm not better than literally everyone.
To be honest, I don't even have much, like, I haven't had to network much, I don't think.
Okay, work.
Do you see it?
But anyway,
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so I will start with the answer again.
Yes.
Okay, so for me, it's sometimes it may give a great advantage. So networking is an important part to do in a career. It differs depending on the circumstances. The best place to do FE, a lot of superficial convos, small talks, pretending to be interested, hopping from one person to another, a lot of smiling and trying to bring attention to my field of work.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out. Sorry.
That's great.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Miss Melanie.
Yep. Number 2, blah. I feel like the way they talk about networking is rigid, corny, inauthentic, useless. I have learned that being who you actually are, the shit I've hidden, is way more potent for real art and partnerships, which we have collaborated on personally, Bley.
Awesome.
No, period.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But also, can I just say, Magda, I didn't, like, that was so diplomatic. I wish I thought that way.
That's what I said. Well, yeah, it's like using Effie like a tool.
Right, exactly.
Like a tool. Yeah,
which I guess we all do. I mean, I know I do it to get, like, you know, free stuff at the bodega.
And this is just your default reaction. It's not anything about like what you should do, what you aspire to do.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's just your gut reaction.
No, you're so right. Yeah.
All right, so my default reaction is repulsion. I don't think it should be necessary to make fake friends to get ahead. It should be quality of work.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yes, God. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Networking feels nebulous, so let me try to get specific with myself in order to answer. I want to build an audience on YouTube. That means making great videos and connecting with my audience. I also think it's important to connect with others in that area. I've thought about this often, and I honestly don't know how to do it. I'm fairly good with people, so I hope that it will fall into place. So, yeah. I mean, you can see me and Magda, the social deciders, social single deciders. I think it's interesting. Yeah.
I guess I have a very visceral reaction to it. And I don't even know, you know, why. Well, I do know why. It feels humiliating, like I said. And I think I understand it rationally to be a part of life and to be a part of getting ahead. But it is really hard to work past that, you know, ick with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong with that either. I think it's more just interesting to see our differences. But I mean, I feel you on that. Like, I mean, whenever you say networking, I picture a huge room with a bunch of tables. Like, anytime I've gone to, like, those kinds of things, I, like, stand there and I'm like, I'm just gonna go eat a donut and then, you know, sit on my phone.
I picture all the soulless influencers that I've had to fucking deal with, and how they crawled out of the hole in the ground right from hell to bother me specifically, and to pretend like they're like just fake ass construction in social media is real life, and then have all these unspoken bullshit like horrible unspoken rules that you just don't understand. And I think of the growing influencer culture and how that's changing the landscape of marketing, and it's like when you become what you market, it's just a world that I can't vibe with, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not for sale anyway.
Yeah,
so I relate the most.
No, I'm with
you.
You know
what I'm saying?
I've thought about doing a YouTube because I'm so interested in YouTube, and becoming a mom in the past 2 years has been such a big, difficult thing, and I consume it a lot, and I'm like, man, I could put this out in there, but it is like, I kind of similarly, I was like, but I kind of want to keep that as mine. Like, I do want to, I want to get myself more out there, but it is like, I think me and my family, like, I could see maybe having like a vlog, but I don't want to ever become like Casey Neistat, where like my whole life.
Right. And I wasn't trying to dog on any YouTuber in particular. I actually love YouTubers. I follow a lot of influencers. So I don't mean to dog on that at all. And, you know, no, I'm saying, like, I'm making generalizations, obviously. And so it's not to get them all up in the tizzy. And I honestly, as an artist myself, and I'm sure Melanie can relate to this, we kind of are forced to have to do that if we want to make it in today's entertainment world. We just are. And it is a fascinating world to me. Like, I love the PR of it. I love the scandals. And I love just analyzing all of the different ways you can respond to things and finding the truth within the mob mentalities of cancel culture. Anyway, not to tangent, but I do have a very visceral, repulsive reaction to that word and having to sell myself. You know what I'm saying?
But you also know a lot more about that world. Can I point that out?
Oh, well, because I have to. Yeah, it's interesting. And,
to me, I'm like a bit overwhelmed. Sorry, but go ahead.
No, I could send you a lot of great PR people that break things down in such an interesting, like, objective way that I love following. And just, it feels so good when you have some sanity within all the mob of cancellation and stuff like that. And it also feels good to just, you know, I feel like all of us TINE people can sort of relate to seeing the world as a social experiment to a certain degree. Like, the world is our lab. The world is our lab, and we're constantly learning, and we're playing with the parts. And so that's just one of the areas that's my lab, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like, little fake FI, like, rant. Like, the first YouTuber I ever followed, when she got into cancel culture, it was just so heartbreaking. I was just like, but I love you, but I've followed you for forever, and why are you going that way?
Yeah.
And, okay. Yeah. It was just,
Oh, I totally get you. I mean, with the Colleen stuff, I was actually a Colleen fan for a long time. I mean, obviously I faded out because I grew up, but it's heartbreaking, but it is also interesting to see the deep dives. You know, I'm morbidly curious about that in the same way I am with true crime.
a lot of people handle it well. In my opinion, she was not handling it well, was the thing. There wasn't tact. She was just getting in on it, and then it came back on her, and I was like, you kind of did that
is Magda okay?
Yeah. She'll be back.
She had a bad connection. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
she's
I
trying
got you.
to
She'll be back.
reconnect.
Okay.
So we can.
I got you.
We can wait, since we were tangenting anyway, because of
tangenting, yes. But I mean, yeah, like I said before, me and as an aspiring actor, it is what it is. And one of the reasons I've resisted having a YouTube channel or trying to be an influencer up until now is because I've noticed when a YouTuber makes it onto the mainstream, they're still always the YouTuber who made it onto the mainstream. And I wouldn't be able to reconcile that with someone who wants to be genuinely good at a craft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or someone who wants to be respected. Even, to me, it blows my mind. Like, even Lady Gaga going into acting right now, she has to prove herself so much, even though she's been working on acting since she was a very, very young. So it just, when it's weird when you're trying to transition into a different field and seeing all these amazing, really talented comics come out of YouTube and Vine and TikTok, but then always having to carry that label, the influencer, the TikTok star, and they're always sort of othered in the industry. I wouldn't be able to reconcile that, you know, but who am I? I have no followers to say all that, but that's just something that I've thought about.
Have you watched any of the videos for this guy coming up? Because I did a very cursory glance at him, and I think his name's like Yang Ye, and he was a gamer influencer, but he was on YouTube, and now he's a voice actor, and so maybe they're gonna touch on that in this coming up.
Honestly,
video.
I'm really lazy because there was so many CEOs that were just white and boring and that I didn't give a shit about.
When I came back, I was like, no.
Yeah, exactly. So when I see the name and I don't recognize it, I just kind of like, oh, well, I'll just watch a video when it comes out. So,
no, I looked into it and I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder if they'll talk about that. I'm not interested enough to go watch him, though.
Exactly. Yeah. My motivation is largely in line with my interests.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, me too. I am kind of bummed. I wish I had done Bryan Cranston, because that was so interesting.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He ended up being
gosh.
really cool.
He did. Well, the thing is have you guys watched Breaking Bad?
I haven't.
Yes.
Okay. So I think Walter White is an IJ, right? I think he's an IJ. I always thought of him as an INTJ. And so seeing Bryan being not that at all, I was like, oh, you know, because they've alluded to actors like playing their type often in roles and stuff. And so that kind of made me rethink, what is Walter White? Is he SET? You know what I mean? Was I wrong? Shit.
Oh, yeah. I think he was, from what little I saw of it, because like I would watch some of Breaking Bad. In my opinion, I do think he was playing like an ISTJ, ESTJ.
ISTJ, I was thinking.
Yeah. ISTJ, maybe. Okay, yeah. I saw him type that. I was always thinking INTJ, but that was probably just bias. of like, you know, man, yeah, probably just like mastermind S. And I kind of get, I get the SE, I guess. But yeah, it just kind of made me rethink Walter White.
Well, that is the problem with typing characters, is maybe his
Right.
functions did come through, and maybe his evolution was kind of INTP.
And it really depends on how good the writing is, because you know, there is so many shows where the character just goes off the rails, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, they would just never do this, you know, and that is...
Right, I hate that. Yeah, you feel like you get to know the character, and then once they do something that is just not them, even in a crisis state, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's no... Or they act out and there's very little reason for it, or, you know, something like that. It's... Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They did that with, like, they had the, sorry, nerd alert, Teen Titans, like, live action. And I loved the cartoon as a little chillins. And my favorite character was Raven. And then I was excited to see the live action version, but she was such a little bitch in the live action version. She was nothing like the character. The character, I think, was an INTJ, or just probably some sort of T dominant, very level, like, extremely intelligent, very like monotone and logical. But then the character on TV, they wrote some sort of like not at all like the character, just off the rails. She was so emotional and weird, and her motivations weren't clear, and it made me really mad. Yeah.
Did you watch? Wait, I know, and then we'll get right back. Did you watch Loki?
I did.
Did you?
Loki, yes,
okay, but did you guys feel like he changed? Like, I thought he was an ENFJ, and then in that show, I felt like he was like an INFP or something.
No.
Oh my gosh, I always thought of him as an ENTP.
As an ENTP? Okay, like, something more extroverted.
ENTP, he's an NT for sure.
Okay.
I thought so. I mean, okay, so Loki, like, the stereotype is the trickster, right? Which is very stereotypical, I feel like. So any chaos is kind of a trickster. So then, to me, my question was, is it FI or is it TI? Or is it TE or FE? And so I feel like, obviously there was bad writing, right? All up in the middle. But I always thought that it was sort of TI.
Okay, I saw him as, like, very David Blaine-y, like, very magician-y. Like, he reminded me, and that was why I kind of went, like, older, like, and I feel like they changed and grew him, and maybe that just stuck in my mind, because I'm talking about, like, in the beginning when he was, like, pretty one-dimensional. I was like, the one dimension I see feels like David Blaine-y, but...
You know, now that you mention it, I don't know what I'm on about, because his problems seemed very decidery, if I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With people.
Like,
you didn't...
Yeah, like...
I wasn't loved or whatever,
Yeah, I'm like, you know, most of the time I'm like, just move on. The fuck? You know? Like, hello? Why are you still thinking about it? Like, the fuck? Move on. But
he could have been an IP.
Right.
Like,
Could have been you bitches. He could have been you bitches.
In the TV show, he felt like an IP. I felt like.
Well, in the movies too, because I feel like he felt like he was disrespected by the tribe.
Okay.
You
He
know?
was. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Shit. I forgot. Oh, I met David Blaine at a wedding. He was such a dick. He was oh my God. Like, what a dick. Just don't meet him. And I would say don't meet my heroes, but he was not my hero. I was like, girl, I barely give a fuck about you. And okay. The fuck? And I think he's like an IFI or some shit. I don't give a fuck. He's
they typed him. He's like an ENFJ. He's an ENFJ. Yeah. I remember Dave showing him and being like, ENFJ.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, fuck him. I don't care. He's weird.
Yeah, shit.
All right. We got question 3.
Wait, really quick. Am I coming in clear? Like, because I feel like the screen is choppy.
No, I can see you.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Okay.
Checking.
All right. What do you find so moving about your favorite artist, art piece, film, song, etc.? Pick the first one that pops into your head.
Oh. That's a hard question because there's a lot. You know, I feel like Lorde stands out to me. What drew me to Lorde was I was a teenager, but it was just her challenging predominant paradigms, right? It was her challenging, this is how everybody's thinking, and this is sort of challenging that, and why are we praising, Royals wasn't the song that I originally became really like, a fan of her for. It was really her other songs there, in her song Team, she says, I'm sick of being told to put my hands up in the air, so there. And to me, that was such a smart line, because it was like, in music, everybody was going one direction, and she was like, why are we doing, like, I'm not, it was the first goth, moody teen moment. But in general, it's artists that sort of pose a question up to society, or make people question the way they're operating, I guess.
All right, cool. All right, share screen. And okay.
Oh,
nice.
All right.
Okay, so I will start
ready?
again. Okay, so for me, let's say it's Banksy. I love the way he challenges people's perception on things that become socially acceptable but shouldn't.
Damn.
Twinsies,
Yep.
you guys.
I love that. No, that's literally, I love it.
Wow, beautiful.
Love that. Number 2, Citizen Cope is so moving because over all the years he's remained steadfast in keeping his show extremely affordable and chose to skip being more commercially successful to stay personally available and connected to his fans.
Awesome. All right. Fake Plastic Trees is a song that always brings me to tears. It's like they're dissecting the crap that we do, the fakeness to survive, but in a way, it's all kind of killing us.
Okay, we get a 1 and 3.
I hadn't read any of these responses because I had to run around. They're all so, like, deep. you guys are so much more to, like, societally informed. I'm like, this makes me feel good and bad. So, like...
Julie, shut the fuck up.
No, really, it's like, that's how I responded.
This makes me feel good or bad?
It's like, maybe had feelings. I don't know.
I can't stand your ass. I can't stand your ass.
Okay, yes, that they move me emotionally, physically. That was, and I was like, okay, let me try to, like, think of a specific. That was song, movie. My favorite movies are the Guardians movies, and I always have the same response to why my favorite movie is my favorite movie. It makes me laugh and it makes me cry every single time.
Fun! I love it!
And it's changing society as we know it.
It is challenging at the way we think. It is reaching into your brain and turning it into spaghetti.
We can't help that we're fucking deep, okay?
I can't. No, I mean, she's so right. I'm so fucking pretentious. I'm so pretentious. Oh, I'm challenging paradigms. Who am I? The fuck? Like, my favorite thing is Avatar because I liked it. Who gives a fuck? Like, I really... Like, I'm saying, like, who cares? Who cares?
No, I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful that you guys... that you guys thought to that depth.
Okay, yeah, so I definitely saw you and Magda sharing that.
Yeah.
But it seemed like, Sasha, like, you had pretty much said the same thing, no? Like,
I feel like the four of us said, I feel like I'm gonna NI what we said for a second, and if I NI it, it was all about challenging the culture. You know, they make fun of us for saying culture and shit, but fuck it. If we don't question it, who will? The fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sure we all have. I loved it. I just liked it. I'm sure we all have that. So
I think that's a healthy thing to have. Yeah.
I love all of you guys. I don't feel bad.
Like, what do you think that first shit is that comes up though? Like all that, like, because you know, I'm like, that's the first thing. Like, I'm like, it's like really great that we're doing this fucking important work, but it's the first shit that pops up. Like, is it a defense mechanism? Because then underneath, I'm like, plus he's really hot, and I want to fucking sit on his lap. You know what I mean? Like, why is that under there? But like, really, that's what you wanted to say. Like me, I'm like, I just fucking really like drill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why
She
is
has abs.
Yes.
I love the abs.
Yes.
No. Who knows what builds interests? You know, if we're going by OP, we're building our interests according to reasons. So, you know, that's probably why we have some bullshit ass thing and pretending like we're not animalistic and visceral. And
it's right up there.
yeah, but we definitely like think of why we like things the way we like things, or why, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I do. Shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's no question that is asked about, you know, do you like this, that I don't answer, that I don't qualify it.
It is a hard question though. Like, I remember Billie Eilish's interview, and every time she would have like a value question, she's TI dominant like you guys. Every time she would have a value question, like, what was your favorite song, or what was your favorite whatever, she'd be like, she would like really just like revert back to herself and like barely know how to answer. And I feel that way a lot of the time too, because it's like, the fuck?
Is she blessed last?
She is, and she's ISTP, yeah, MM.
So you're gonna love this question then, with what you just said. Are you ready? From all of your experiences, which has been your favorite, and what made it so special?
All of my
All of
holy
the
fuck balls.
First one that pops in your mind.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Shit. It was I really liked in Hawaii. I was in Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I played this version of the narrator that started out as a man and then turned into a woman throughout the play. And the narrator can break the fourth wall and like interact with the crowd. And I got to do that, and it was a full house for like 4 weekends or more. And Hawaii, you know, the Big Island is called the Big Island, but it's a sort of a small town. So after that, I felt like I was recognized, and that wasn't the part that I loved. I just loved being part of something that was so impactful in the little community that we had. And I became so close to the crew at the time. It was 2015, so I don't know those bitches anymore. But I became so close to the crew, and it was really when I really solidified in my, because it was right after high school. I was like 18, 19. And so it was really when I solidified in my mind, this is what I want to do. I want to perform naked on stage. I'm just kidding. No, I want to be a performer because it was awesome.
Aww.
Does that answer your question?
Really,
Yeah, that's
really
beautiful.
interesting. No, that was great, and you did that really quickly. So that was pretty amazing.
Well, you
All
said
right.
whatever comes to my mind, you know, and that's
No,
what I did.
yeah, that was great. Let me share our answers. On screen share. I'm doing it again. And
You're really doing it. Look at that.
Look at it. All right.
Did it.
Meta.
Okay, so I will start with my answer. So I was driving by bus, being afraid I will fail some exam. And then I got an idea that if I fail, I will be expelled from university. And this is not the end of the world, but a new opportunity. This way I wasn't spiraling down into fear, but took it as something uplifting. It was the first time I used positive thinking.
Oh,
You know what I just thought of when you were doing that is how you mentioned the bus, but I feel like our type associates experiences with an object. Do you guys do that too?
I do. Well, I have MSI, and so my memory. Sorry, not to skip
Please,
over anything.
please.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
No, yeah, I totally have a very vivid. I was going to say sensual, and people associate that with sex, but I mean that in the literal sense of like senses. Like I have I remember I have this memory of one time I didn't know where the controller was, and I was having an observer freak out about it, and I immediately, like, exactly where it was, I had seen it 3 days ago, popped into my mind, like the image, and that's how my memory works a lot of the time. Like, I can pull up like Google Images and all sorts of, but
visual.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
have the same.
Yeah.
I have the same.
Interesting.
Oh,
No, I
wow.
just saw that when Magda said that, and I was like, oh, because like I'll remember something by like where a coffee cup was or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's aphantasia where people can't see images in their minds. And then there's hyperphantasia, which is when you see too vivid of images, and I feel like I'm more towards the hyper.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. And can I say one more thing about that, Magda, for can of worms or just for thought later? I feel like Friends could almost be called like belief seeking. Like I feel like friendsness is kind of, you want belief from others towards you, and I feel like this was a belief I feel like somehow this was a processing of Friends to some degree of positive belief thinking for yourself.
It was more like I wasn't processing people. I was processing like my end, let's say, because being expelled from the university wasn't an option for me. I had to be, successful person as per my dad. So it wasn't an option. So I was freaking out that, either I will pass that exam or I will die.
I just feel like
this
exactly
was that
you
stuff.
got it from yourself. It's like
Exactly. I wasn't processing people, but my own shit, like my own person, my own future, like
exactly.
myself.
Exactly. I just feel like the more friends you have, the higher friends is, the more you might seek that externally. That's just something I feel like. But you had a moment where you like
self-validate.
I could be wrong. I mean, you feel like I'm wrong, and that's okay. It just felt like you found the belief for yourself. It was really great. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, no matter what it was.
Yeah. It was belief for myself, exactly.
Yeah, the internal motivation, saying this isn't an option, and so I'm gonna step up. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
it's awesome. That is memorable. Like a different way in your thought pattern. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So for number 2, concerts.
Bitch, I hate your ass.
I am literally obsessed with like making actual eye contact with my favorite artist to connect as human beings. Like, wow, we both exist and your contribution has moved my atoms and molecules. Whatever that connection is what I find special about life in general, the truth between each individual.
Why are you undermining your own answer? Why are you doing
it? When I'm reading it, it just sounds like that's
you're mocking yourself, bitch.
because it's funny to read it, but that's the first thing that popped out of my mind. So I accept myself.
Out of your mind,
and
balls.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
At least for me.
No, it's very fair.
It's beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Melanie, I actually do that too. At concerts, I try to, if I make eye contact with the performer, I'm like, yeah, they know I exist. Yeah, I've said that many times before. I think that's really funny. I've never heard anybody else say that. I think that's hilarious.
Wow.
I avoid it. I feel like it's I feel like they're trying to be well, especially when it's like a comedian or some shit and they're trying to be intimate. I'm like, girl, I don't like you. Like no. That shit's different and it's weird, and I've definitely had my fair share of all kinds of crazy shit, as like all the fucking
comedians.
Yeah.
Especially like comics. I also live with a comic, so I'm very into I'm very familiar with that life. But on the bright side, it's like I think it's the concerts that make it different. Like the music glosses over like the fucking dumb. Like, are you trying to fucking be a fucking creep? Yeah. I don't know. It's not intimate enough where it's weird for you. Yeah. It's okay, I gotcha. The thing that they're contributing. Yeah. No, so totally. It takes you out of the fucking bullshit of human weird shit. Toads balls. Love it.
And I was sitting there for my answer, and everything that I thought of, this happened. So I don't know whether I can say I have a favorite experience. The past always has a darkness that intermingles tightly with whatever so-called good experience, and it's impossible to separate. So I would aim for something, and then like something else would be like, yes, but, and then I would be like, well, you know, and I know that's a lot of work I have to do on my part, but you know, we're talking about default reactions, and that was mine.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that made me think of oftentimes I think of this, especially when other people are interviewing other people, and they ask these all or nothing questions, right? Was this experience good or bad? Oftentimes, I actually agree with you. Experiences were both good and bad. You know, some experiences were a little more bad than good, and vice versa. But I oftentimes see my own memories and my own experiences the same way, and it is hard to answer that question because I try not to. Well, not that I try not to see the past that way. I simply don't see the past that way. I see it in, it was both and more. You know what I'm saying? It was a mosaic of emotions instead of either good or bad. You know, if that makes any sense.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was thinking 2 times about that question. So, my first past memories about anything was actually bad ones, and I will try to find the most favorite among them, you know. So I chose the most, the best. From when I was thinking I will face my, you know, like my end, but still I could transform it into something good. So that was like
you overcame.
Yeah. So in that bad moment, which I am still remembering, I wanted to share because of that moment of okay, so there is a way. Every problem is solvable. So that was the moment I realized this. So that's why I chose it.
So,
but
do you see
any
yourself
other
as,
memory is bad one?
Do you see yourself as an overcomer, and like that drives you to be better?
I would say
not really.
Okay, fair.
Look at your
not really.
Our intro. You kind of are like a fighter.
Yeah, a survive shit. You know, that's a good thing. But I mean, I only asked that question because that's how I see number ones. I kind of see them as like, I think Shan said once that they respond better to tough love. I don't. I shut down in tough love, you know, and so that's why I see number ones as like, oh, everyone thinks I can't make it. Well, let me prove you wrong, kind of thing. And we all have that to some extent, but
we do, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But it's like, for me, it's more like there is no situation, no matter how bad it is, that you cannot solve.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, I have like some problems in life like everyone else, and I need to face with them and how to do it. And because they are related to health, it's making me anxious because not everything is like in my mind power. And I'm trying to, you know, accommodate what I can do with my, let's say, with training of my weakest SI, and make it more intentional, and so on. So it's a lot of work to do, and it's painful. Of course, I don't want to do it. I want easy life.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So just, you know, I want to give myself slack, right? It's how you call it. Yeah. But I can't, and I'm like, oh fuck, I need to do it.
So you're very hard on yourself.
So, and I think everyone should be, you know. Okay, this is how I'm thinking, because I'm like feeling pain here right now, and why there are people that don't really bother, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I wish I could, but if I will start being more more easy for myself. I will lose all the work I already did, and I don't want to lose it as well. So, you know, I'm like constantly anxious about what's around, like, you know, with my problems and others, that they are just I wish they work as hard as me, because then I will feel like I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know,
it's nice. Yeah,
it's making sense for you.
Yeah, no, that makes
because
perfect
I think
sense.
it's like, yeah.
You put what I understand is that you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and so you often see other people not doing the same, and you get frustrated, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I get that to an extent.
I definitely.
Because
I think a responsibility savior 100% is like,
yeah.
I was gonna.
Why do I have to fucking do this, but you don't? Like, why do you get off easy? You get to fucking put your feet up. Fuck you. Like, it's like
because
and this
I am gorgeous. And I don't want to. Like, have you ever considered that option? Like, I don't want to, and I don't do things that I don't want to. So it's like, it's really hard when you're just a princess and you just like don't move unless you really want to, you know, and only do the things you want. You're very self-indulgent. It's like, do I even want to go to... No, I'll just pee my bed. I don't even want to go to the bathroom. Ooh.
I do want to say, I feel like the responsibility there, though, is kind of flavored by the deciderness, right? Because it turned into a, they're not working, I'm working, like, and I do wonder how much an observer would play the you-me game in responsibility.
I think that my tendency is to be like, you do you, I do me. Like, you're not paying my bills. You know what I mean? Like, I'm accountable to who is paying my bills, my parents. And so it's like, you know, if my brother has any problem, I'm like, you're not paying my fucking bills. Shit. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? To me, it's like, I'm accountable to them, and I have that conversation with them, and I'm working with them. So to me, it's like, I'll be accountable to who I'm accountable to, and you can do the same. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, especially with a roommate situation and everything like that, I'm like, you do you, bitch. I'll take care of my shit. So, and I feel like I naturally sort of give people the space to do that. I get very averse to when people are like, what's your plan? Or like, what's your plan to get out of this situation that is your life? You know, kind of thing. I am so averse to that question. I have such a, no, it's my plan. I want to work on it. Don't fucking talk to me. It's not your problem. But I totally understand. On the other hand, if you're picking up all the slack, of course you're going to be frustrated with people who aren't. So, you know, and I'm not saying that I try to go about the world just leaving holes and whatever the fuck. I try to stay accountable to who I'm accountable to, and I try to see, you know, other people doing the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me totally want to jump off in that direction, because I know.
Miss Julie, read your response.
Okay,
and then
I
we can do
mean,
that.
it's like, you're not gonna, I feel like on this one, all five of us are very different, but it's been really cool, beautiful to see. Yeah. But yeah, mine is so, Forzy. This is the hardest out of all of these questions to answer. Go figure. Is that because quality time, I'm always seeking every moment to be great? The first thought that popped into my head was when my son started to say, I love you, and hug me, and show forgiveness when I was sad. There's not one moment, but I love those moments.
Aww.
Yeah. It's... Yeah. Like,
I loved it personally when I met your son and then I threw him out the window. That was my favorite. And I would do it again. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You've made him exactly.
stronger.
And then he has wings now. You're welcome.
And you watch out. If he's a one, if he remembers you, he will be coming for you.
Okay. Oh, I hope so. You see what I'm saying? Kill Bill, part 2.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
No, I mean, he's like 2.5, but he's already a 2 or a 4, I swear, because everybody's his friend. Everybody's his friend.
Oh, really?
So he probably won't come kill you, but you never know. What did she say? Dahmer was a 4. Anyway, we can continue.
Word, girl.
Yeah.
So you're comparing your son to Dahmer. Just let me write that down. Let me just jot that down. Let Julie gave birth.
Dang it. Okay.
Hey, you said it.
I know. Oh my gosh. I walk into those, all the time. I mean, I haven't said it yet, but Melanie's going to get an penis dinger for me.
Oh.
we need bingo or something. Yeah. I'm done, by the way. My game is over.
That was a good game.
Fun. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, did you want to, did anything about that jump out to you, Bley, or anything?
I'm actually just in the back of my head, I've been wondering this entire time, the missing information, like, what the fuck do they think I am? So, that's just what I've been thinking. Yeah, I'm like, because, you know what I mean? I feel like one of the foundational things about OP is triangulating the truth through the tribe, right? So that's why I want to know, because, you know, you guys actually put in the work to type people, which I don't. So I'm just wondering.
Oh, I know. I feel bad, and I've been trying to not front load it, because as soon as I started the video, I would be like, "Hi, I think Bley's this." You know what I mean? And it's like I've actually been.
I wish you would have. So wish you would have.
I'm always like, I'm not gonna say this, and then I immediately go say it. Like, that's story of my life.
Oh no, totally, me too. And for me, unless someone explicitly tells me this is a secret, I will spill it, because it's like, I don't think things are sacred unless you tell me you cannot share this. Because I've had so many moments where, oh my god, why did you tell people I had water yesterday? Bitch, who gives a fuck? Like, you should have told me. It's a secret that I fucking blink and drink water, by the way. Like, you have to let me know. I can't just read your goddamn mind, dumbass.
I know.
Like.
Okay. Well, I will tell you soon, because, like I said, I made a video. Unless
soon.
Very soon. I made a video, and before the video, I'll tell you because of how I want to do it. But first, I want to ask you, before putting any ideas in your mind, about something that actually is a part of this video. That you said, my friends really do get frustrated at my urgency of solving future problems all the time. You said that to Kendrick. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Solving future problems all the time. Wow, I'm so smart. And I bet I said that in a sexy way too.
Oh yeah, there was like candlelight and like
right. I'm saying, and I'm just like picturing it. I said that so gorgeously, and like it goes down to like, I'm like, I bet everyone's had this experience where your girlfriend comes to you and they're like, oh, he did it again. He showed all his red flags. And I'm like, I've been telling you from the get-go that this and this and this pattern means that you're going to go through this and this and this, and this is who someone is. You know, seeing right through people and trying to like just seeing the patterns, and then letting, like in a prophet kind of way, letting people know this is what's going to happen, and you're kind of ignoring this one thing, like you're eating too much sugar, you're going to be, like my mom says, diabetics, you're going to be diabetics. So and then who wants to be friends with that person who's NTing the future all the time, and then bonking in your head about it, you know, and then getting frustrated that you're not seeing what they're seeing.
Do you know how many people's lives I've meddled in? A lot of my friends got married because I paired them together. And then it's like, if they have marital problems, they will remember and come back to me. And I'm like, shit, I didn't make you get married.
Exactly. And I see it. You know what I mean? Like, I see it. I'm like, this is where that's going. Do you see that? And they're like, I'm stupid and I'm fat and you know, and I guess OP has helped me come to terms with a lot of people's inability to see what I see. And I really love this one phrase from Alice in Alice in Wonderland, which coincidentally I do think she's an INTP, where she says, I give very good advice, but I rarely seldom follow it. Right? She said that, and I'm like, I feel like that's TI or any TI in a way. Like I you know, but for me, I'm a fucking mess. So who the fuck am I to be telling anyone what the fuck to do. So it comes down to that too. Like, yeah, I'm sure I see it, but I think over the course of being so frustrated that everyone's like ignoring everything I'm seeing and I'm bonking them and they're not seeing it, I have chilled out and I've been like, you know, the fuck what? It's okay. It's okay. Just believe what you want.
Okay. Thank you for that response. So I have, like, we've had a lot of debates about, say, responsibility and specialization. And something Melanie said to me is she's like, I'm not seeing him putting out fires like I'm putting out. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And you had a story about dishes. But the way you talked about it, you said, my brother and my sister are telling me I'm not doing dishes. So one, you're saying, shit, they're telling me I should. And then two, you're like, but I don't see the dishes. And I was like, he's an observer. Like, sometimes I can't see reality around me, but for you, right, I just watched that Dave video of that astronaut. She's an ENFP. And he went on a rant that helped me. He's like, no, all you deciders think that that are lead intuition, you think you can't see things, but we lead intuitions really, really can't see things.
Yeah. The double activated Any at the top.
Yes. And I
really can't see that.
I think you're putting out decider fires all the time.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah, you're being like, oh, honey, don't wear that. Oh, honey, this is what you need in your life. Like, the fires for you aren't your sensory surroundings like they are for Melanie. Melanie is going around and being like, why has nobody mopped the floor? That's the one example I remember. So,
I'm like, because I'm stupid. The fuck? No, I agree with I often will act like the bridge for people and be like, oh, they're just saying this. Calm down. You know what I'm saying? I would agree with that. I don't like doing it though. One of the things that I was like starting to be considered part of the staff because I was helping out people with their advice so much, and I was just so resolved and you know, my knowledge, I guess. And so I don't like it. Like, I get exhausted and I'm like, oh fuck, like another thing, you know what I mean? And so I had to have like 3 days where I didn't talk to anybody, nobody. Yeah, and it's weird because like there are things that you're good at and you're aware that you're good at it, but you don't necessarily like doing it at all.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's one of the things. And you know, my parents are like, you should be a therapist. I'd be like, I'd rather eat glass. You know, I'd rather eat glass. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all about balancing it, right? Because it's like, you're gonna do it. So, like, find a way that you can let yourself do it, because otherwise you'll also crumple. In my opinion, from what I've seen for myself, it's like, I have to do my saviors. Yeah. But, yeah, don't let them rule your life, because that will also make you miserable. You gotta
capitalize off of them.
Capitalize off of them a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I want to review movies and shit because I just watch so much TV and I watch it from like an analytical point of view. So I feel like that's the conclusions that I'm coming off recently. I'm like, I should start capitalizing off of what I am already doing, which is just watching TV, movies, everything.
Yeah. I have that video to share, but before I did that, I wanted to ask any of the girls if they had further questions that they wanted to do before that. There can also be time after that. Floor is open for anyone if they want it. No, Magda. Melanie or Sasha, do you guys want to ask anything before I show my video?
No, let's just see what you got, because I feel like the rest of us have a side or a number that we're thinking of. So let's see the counter argument.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so I think that you're a 2.
Okay.
I think I'm the only one that thinks you're a 2.
That's so fun.
Yeah, and so a lot of it is I see friends above flex. And I can't not see friends above flex. Sasha, you don't need to put it down while I'm talking, Sasha.
I'm so cute.
You have because like friends is like spank me energy.
Oh yeah,
it is. Yeah, I'll spank you too. Okay, and like it's like you do use them at the same time, I feel like. It's like you bring it up and you're an observer. That's the other thing. It's like, it's hard because you're also going to be better at the Friends Flex game, I think, anyway. Yeah. But it was hard to, like, prove responsibility because, like, everyone they show is, like, a business owner. But it's, like, on the flip side, it's, like, you know, they're showing, you know, these 50-year-olds that have, like, you know, been in the biz forever that, like, they want to watch, right? Like, a lot of the twos that I went and, like, looked up that they have, it's, like, those are all the entrepreneurs that they've been following for forever. Like, I don't...
You are just in your 20s,
Mark
right?
Robert was a 2 that was my type. And they did him.
Oh.
He was exactly, he was an MFNETI CPBS 2.
Oh, when did they do him? Missing us out.
They did him in the butt a couple weeks ago. I don't remember. But they did do him. Yeah, they did. It was one of the first times where they were mentioning social type, and I remember thinking, the fuck?
Perfect. Well, I'm still going to show my video because maybe that disproves me completely, but I want to show you guys, like, what I was seeing. If I'm wrong, this will be a really big, great lesson for me. I have cards. One is Flex and Friends, and they're on the same card because I feel like you just go back and forth. And then the other one is what I see are schemes, gigs, and fires.
Sexy.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, what are the cards? I don't get them.
Schemes, gigs, and fires.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because, like, I was like, how can I do this? Like, I got these clips, and so I'll try to, like, point or hold up, or I don't really know. Like, and kind of be like, oh, this is what he's doing. This is what he's doing right now.
Is he, like, putting out the fire, you mean? Like...
Yeah, like, he's...
I'm Katara, bitch.
He's talking about fires. Yeah, in my opinion. Schemes, gigs, fires is what I saw. Because what I kept coming back to with the gigs thing is, I mean, even on our show, you've talked about wanting to make a YouTube about movies. Like, you've talked about more
Wouldn't
gigs.
That be fun?
Yeah, but you've talked about even more gigs and schemes than, like, I even have a list of all the things that you've mentioned that you've done. You've been a photographer, you do stand-up, improv, hairdressing, acting, music, lead actor, background, writer, you helped your mom with her PhD stuff, and it's like, it's hard because you are lead NE. My husband is lead SE. And it's like starting to become someone who works on the house is like such a thing. Like, Dave and Shan talked about skill sets as being difficult for 3s to pick up.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's...
I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's correct.
I feel that way. I feel like I have a lot of random skill sets. Like, I'm also a barista. I'm really good with that, espresso. But I don't know. I mean, shit.
Can I counter
awesome.
that?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I have done writing, art, drawing. I had my comic strip. I was in charge of events and, dealing with the public, and I was also working at veterinary clinics, and I just got my A+ for computers. Like, I feel like I'm always picking up new skill sets. I feel like I've missed some,
and then when you do, you feel like you have to go really deep with it, right?
Yes.
I mean, at least I feel that way. I can't drive, for example. I can't drive. I don't have a driver's license. So that's part of the reason I chose New York City, because it's a really hard time with that.
You're like Tina Fey,
Yeah, Tina Fey. Yeah, exactly. That really did make me feel better about myself. I was like, oh, it's just my NE, you guys. I'm not an idiot. I feel like I have, but I'm also so useless, in practical matters and most of the time. And then my sister, she does something where she'll like pick up crocheting, pick up skating, pick up this, pick up that. And for me, it's like, I'll take years and years to, I feel like, pick up something, and I'll do it when I have to. But I totally see what you're saying, and I love it. Keep them coming.
No, well, let me like dig in on that, because that is like, I'm trying to see that difference. And like, I definitely don't think my husband, like, he has many things that he's good at, but it's like, so Sasha,
is he masculine SC or feminine SC? Like,
okay, so Sasha, to me, it looks like you had veterinary, and you had, can you list the things out again? But like
event planning, veterinary, comic strips,
writing,
editing,
like comic
writing,
strips and
copy editing.
So comic strips, writing, and editing to me are all kind of similar.
In the same way that for me, writing, movies.
Right, artists.
Artists, right. Artists.
I don't think
and,
that photography and writing are as similar as editing and comics and writing are.
Fair. I was obsessed with America's Next Top Model. And I was obsessed with Project Runway. And so for me, I see it as like my life has a long string of obsessions which defines a lot of me. And fashion and editorial photography in particular is what I became obsessed with. But it's all in the celebrities that are actors, that are in the magazines, that it's in Vogue, that's the Met Gala. I see it as all connected, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying
and
it's
I'm
not
sure,
connected. I'm saying that the skill set jump from writing to photography versus writing to editing is bigger.
I don't agree.
I feel like
we are gonna have to cut this. We're gonna have to cut this short soon too. Like,
okay. Sorry. So let's. I want to hear more from others.
But what do you think about this?
Performer.
Okay.
Performer, like for me, encapsulates a lot of what I do too. And I guess
that's what I mean.
can see
you do. I feel like they're different skill sets. Like I've acted.
I just never leave my room, so it's hard for me to see that because I never leave my room.
I did performing too in college and high school, either way.
Yeah.
And I made a bunch of movies.
To be fair to you, though, I do relate to Melanie to an extreme degree, and I always have. And I just. Like, we have the same thoughts at the same time. It's weird. Like, I mean, she's probably thinking, ew, that fat fuck. That's...
How did you know that?
I know. I just can read your fucking mind. He's like, I don't relate to you, fat fuck.
You did that with my hair, too.
So I think also maybe I'm just funny. I don't know.
But they've said that this kind of, like, spank me energy is like a friends higher thing, but that's okay. I don't even want to attack the friends and flex much because we both think it's in the middle, so it's harder. And I like, since we're kind of divided between 2 and 3, that's where like I guess I want to focus. And exactly, you and Melanie are the same. And when I compare you to the 2 that I got was Jordan Peterson, which if you're a 3,
he's a 3.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a 3. So if you're a 3, the only difference you would have from him in 512 times 4 would be masculine sensory versus feminine sensory. Mm-hmm. And then I found Owen Cook, who he's a 2, and the only difference between him and you is TI versus FI.
Yeah.
I see way more similarity to Owen Cook.
Owen Cook, yeah. Well, there's Dane Cook. But I don't know his fucking type, though.
Like,
I don't know why I said that.
The way you talk about, like, people and, like, playing the games, like, I even have in the recording you talking about, like, having your gang around you in high school and going up and making fun of someone's shoes. I mean, Owen Cook is a pickup artist, and he's all about getting these people together. And
I did do that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm very Regina George. It was kind of like, and I couldn't help myself. Her moccasins were so ugly, and she showed up, and I was like, I love your shoes. I'm like, why the fuck did I just do that? I hate her goddamn shoes, but I will fight you, and so that's why.
And
I'm
the argument,
because I will fight you, and I love fighting.
And the argument here has been that you are more of a double decider. That's why you can do that stuff when Sasha would not do stuff like that. But Jordan Peterson doesn't...
Jeterson, as they say.
Peterson, he doesn't do that. Like,
Peter.
you know,
he's a whiny little bitch. Like, if I was inbred and from Canada, maybe I would be like him. But I'm also a homosexual. So there's I feel like we have a lot of differences.
And exactly, and maybe there's other splittings. It's just you feel more like Owen Cook than you do like Jordan Peterson to me. And those were the two that I found. And that was part of what kept bringing me back. At one point I shifted to 4 because I was like starting to see where they were coming up with specialization, but then I felt like I started to see your fires and your gigs and your schemes as just being different from those that Melanie has, and more like Owen Cook, because I looked at Owen Cook and I was like, what are his gigs and his schemes? It's getting people out there and making them go talk to that girl and do the, I don't know, you know, like, I mean,
I think Owen Cook is more similar to me in that, so if I, like, in my perspective, I can't decide if I think social needs look the same across the board no matter what the functions. I think Owen Cook sounds like me in that he had the word for, like, flex is a tool. Like, he was like the aura or whatever the fuck, you know? Like, I'm looking at the overview all the time, and I think Bley and I connect. Like, I think this is just, like, I guess wait, are we talking about which type we think? Like, Julie, you were arguing. Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, but, like, I see, I feel like Bley and I connect over flex because mine has been acquired. I think Bley has his naturally, and it's easy for us to, like, play with it. And then we just be playing with we just play all the time. Mm-hmm. So I think Owen Cook, like, I just can't see, like, which part did you see it where you can compare it to Bley? Because I don't think I see, other than, like, I see Jordan Peterson, and that I think Bley has tons of interests and passions that he will speak about passionately, and, like, that he thinks is, like, the correct way or whatever, like, because he has it in his TI. But so I see that, like, where Jordan Peterson is, like, a dick and, like, is kind of closed-minded or whatever. I don't know much about Jordan Peterson, but I see that same intensity of, like, Bley is passionate about a topic and will be like, here's why this is this, like, very passionate. And then Owen Cook, I feel like I watched the video that you, not the whole thing that you had us watch, Julie, about the, what is it called? The Aura tool that he's talking about to, like, basically use flex as a tool. And I feel like I'm looking at that shit a lot, and where Bley is thinking about the things that he's thinking about, like, the things that matter to him, where I'm, like, going, okay, so since we have to go, like, this is very intuitive way of saying it, but I love it. I see Owen Cook as me, but I don't see, like, Bley is just flexing, like, in a good way, like, in a playful way, like, he's just fucking hot. This is hot, fucking fabulous, cool ass style, just wearing it, just being himself.
That's what Owen Cook does. Flex.
I don't know a lot about Owen Cook. I don't know so much about Owen Cook, so I'm like.
I mean, that's what Owen Cook talks about. Like, creating auras around you to go pick up women. And
okay, I will say something.
But he's a pickup artist. You're not a pickup artist.
That's true. I will say something, though. I do deliberately dress unapproachable.
Yes. Most
of the time. And I wear, like, spiky collars. I wear a lot of skulls. Not just because I love goth and horror. Exactly. But because in high school, I wore a tie every day, and I would wear all these colorful things. I looked like gay Pee Wee Herman, Tim Burton motherfucker. And people would just, you're such a teddy bear. You're a gay best friend. And I was getting gay best friend so much. And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I don't like any of you fucking bitches. Yeah. And I hate all of you. And I just want to dress in black. And I hate all of you, period. So I do deliberately, like, try to scare people off with what I wear. But it's not, that might confuse some people, because then you're like, oh, so you dress for other people. No, I dress what I like, first and foremost, what I fucking like and have been obsessed with since I was young. But I do wear, like, big combat boots. I only have combat boots. I only have things that make me feel tall, powerful, and better, not better than you. Like, I keep saying that I sound like such a freak because I'm not that narcissistic in person, but it is like, I don't, you know, I
think that it's not even like you're saying you do it as a however you just explained it. Sorry, I just totally.
I want to be like, not that I want to be unapproachable, but I want to be like, when people say, "Oh, I thought you were so intimidating," I'm like, "Fucking thank you. That's so sweet."
Yeah, like you're being yourself by wearing like what you're wearing. I feel
right.
Like.
Yeah, and I just
you're not like Pee-wee, like you're not goofy, like you're with
yeah.
it.
Well, also, I'm not there to be a gay best friend. I'm not there to just be a vapid supporter of whatever stupid fucking opinions you have. And I'm not there to just be, have a good time and be a little like gossipy, vapid, fucking Perez Hilton was a great example. The unhinged NEFE, people associate that with me because obviously I have double feminine NEFE, so they kind of assume I'm going to be a Tyler Oakley, but I'm not. I'm just not, and they get disappointed and they get annoyed that I'm not necessarily serious, but I don't give a fuck. Like, why are you fucking still crying about this shit? I don't care. And I want to like talk about my interests, and I want to talk about the things that I want to do with my life. And if I can help you with your interests, if you want to be a better brand, I can help you brand yourself. You know what I mean? If you want better style, let's have branding. I love branding. I'm obsessed with branding. I've helped at least 12 people change their names because I'm good with branding. Like fully change it. They're like, they want a new name. I've helped them figure out a new name. I like at least 12 people because I love branding. I'm so aware of how you come off and how much power you exude. It's really important to me.
Which is also another thing that you do. I am so amazed by how many things you do and you've done. Like you've actually gone out and done it too.
Yeah, I have. I just kind of got good at it. I got good at finding stage names for people, and then word got around and I just started doing it for people.
Yeah. And
like I feel like it's in the vein of specialization. Like I feel like you're offering your like radiating like your specialization before Friends, like your message, your style, like you're like, don't approach me, like this is I'm doing something here, comes before Friends. Like you would be like, oh, I'm not going to change my message to accommodate you. Like I
and the thing about Dave saying like he has to stop on the street to give people a ride, and even homeless people asking for money, I love saying no, bitch. I love saying no. Do you want to?
I guess
it's not going to always be the same things.
No, of course, and you don't even have to keep defending yourself, Julie, because at the same time we're still looking at all the parts, right? We're still looking at every side.
Well, no, I just mean I don't think all twos are helping everyone on the street.
Oh no, absolutely not. That's a generalization. But what I'm saying is, I have noticed that I love saying no, and when people like, and it's not in a psychopath kind of way, but I have no problem with it. Can you help me move? No. I hate manual labor.
You also have masculine sleep.
I do. And I'm not going to help you goddamn move. I'm not going to help you do manual labor. I don't care that I'm 6 feet tall and strong. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing it. And so I don't go out of my way for people. And I'm like whatever the opposite of a pushover is.
Yeah. Okay. I just feel like threes, what happens is they really, no matter what, even OE threes, even if they're hopping around, like my husband did some hopping and always does hopping, but the effort is to narrow it down. And you're saying, okay, I'm an artist, but it's like I don't see this effort to become the best at this.
I think everything you've done is the art. His existence. Like, well, I don't know.
But you are also doing that. I mean, like, we are all narrow. Like, we are all trying to become the TI best.
But that's sleep.
Okay, can I ask who else thinks what?
That's sleep. Let me say, that's something that if we worked on our sleep, and if we, that's why it's so painful to be a 3 with sleep last. Like, that's why we have so many things we do want to dive deeply into and finish.
Yes.
And
oh God, yeah.
And I have so many things that I've started, and it's stupid.
Started.
I never finished it though. Language. I never got a license. I I never got a cosmetology license. I kind of stopped doing hair.
Did it with all these people
because I had to. I feel like And the thing is, though, like, I feel like if I take down sensorily and analyze my time, the bulk of it is in my room, just not doing shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like
Me
observing
too.
Melanie.
I'm in my room all the time. I'm a 4, and I talk big game about going out all the time. It's probably like I spend maybe 2 to 3 hours with people a week. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, it's like, but I'm like, but I talk about it, and like I need the friends, and sorry, Magda, you were gonna say something.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. Yes, because you said that you started a lot of things, but you never ended any, like many. So how you feel about that you didn't finish it? Like, because, you know, I have a feeling that responsibility savior would feel that I have to finish it. Like, I have to be like this, how to say it? Like this sinking ship that, oh my God, I have to finish it. Like the job is waiting for me to be done.
Yeah.
Like responsibility savior is ending the started job. And spec, not maybe like only if it's in your true, really like narrowed down.
I have an answer. So
box.
I feel like I get as far. I love that question. I feel like I get as far as until it becomes a responsibility, until someone's like, okay, now go to school for cosmetology, and then I'm accountable to cosmetology, and then I'm like, well, fuck that. I don't, you know, until I like love film, until someone's like, get a film degree. I'm like, you know, until someone's like, make your photography a business. I'm like, oh my God, I'd rather die. And so, and once I'm accountable to money, oh my God, I want to run the fuck away. I want to go the opposite direction. And it feels like I'm going to die. And it feels like the joy is over. And I'm
responsibility started. Yeah. So that's why you are avoiding it. So this is how I see it. Exactly.
No, I dig you. And I'm not, and Sasha, I know that you're emphatic with your agreement with him. I do see a lot of similarities between him and you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like do wonder about where those come from. Like, even the villain stuff and the horror stuff. It's like, but
I brand myself as the villain. I think it's cool. I think there's a juxtaposition. Right, because there's a juxtaposition in like, okay, who decided that bats are evil? Who decided that skulls mean evil? And then who decided that?
Your message, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my message. Yeah, it's villain. Yeah.
I do see a lot of similarities between.
We're all a villain in someone's story.
Yeah. Well, okay, I still, you know what, like, I'm still gonna. I got Flex last. I still want to show you the video and hold up my signs.
You prepared it. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, like I just because
no,
like
I respect.
I see all that stuff. Thanks. And this is just like, but when I look at you, I like watch you. I feel like it's responsibility stuff that I'm seeing. The words are hard.
They are.
The words.
Yeah. I do love words, though. I have like 7 dictionary apps, and I try to. Why are you laughing at me, you bitch? Why are you? I'm gonna kill your ass. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna murder you.
Your best friend.
I'm gonna murder your ass.
Okay. Let's try this. Hopefully, I can kind of do this.
You know, it's not you. It's not just you. Like I interview, EPs and with SI and before the interview starts, their Zoom's not working, their microphone's not working, their camera's not working. So there's always some kind of like problem with the EPs, right? So
here's the thing: is that I was dyeing my sister's hair 4-5 different colors right before I came to do this. I'm not even a hairdresser, but I've been doing hair since I was like 13 for shits and gigs.
Are you more visual or are you more auditory? Would you say?
Well, in school, what's funny is that in school I was usually the most verbose child in class. So in class, people would expect me to ask questions. They would, in fact, just like even rely on it. They would be like, the teacher would be like, because I went to a really weird ass school, like with like 5 other girls, but there was periods of time when there was way more people in the class. But in general, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. they would just rely on me to talk and rely on me to ask questions, but I would say I'm visual. I mean, I'm a photographer, so that's a hard question because I love words. I write poetry. I'm a writer, and I love public speaking. So I don't know.
Like, are you very punchy?
Yeah.
Or are you more of a tester? You know, someone that likes to experiment, like try different things out. You know.
God, he's
I'm
aggravating.
definitely a dancer. I mean, I am very aggressive, both in every way. You know, I'm looking into going into martial arts, for example, because
what the fuck?
I would say I'm very punchy.
Why the hell did I say that? Like,
NT first.
I was just making shit up,
very
bitch.
NT at all. So talk about being NT first.
I think I come across as very NT because I have no friends. Just kidding. But because
I don't know. That's true.
Shan said I play the value game really well when she was typing me. She said that I, because as a Brazilian, I was raised very expressive, but also I'm an aspiring actor, so I have a very expressive nature to me. But in person, I am I check out in normal I don't, unless we're talking about something that I care about, it's, I have a really hard time making friends because it's all just so, it's hard for me to not fight the feeling that everything's futile. I don't know if that makes anything to do with being an NT, but my friends really do get frustrated at my urgency of solving future problems all the time.
I think if you have trouble making friends, it's probably because you're just really aggressive with the tribe. I think that's probably it. I don't think it has anything to do with the NT stuff because I'm NT and have shitload of friends. Right?
What is he on about?
I wouldn't say I have issues making friends. I have issues making certain kinds of friends. Because I have no issues making friends that are like me, which I'm thankful for in New York because
in my interests,
there's a
within
lot
my interests.
Melanie also likes people like her, though.
And Melanie is very sexy, and I would love to be more like her.
Melanie talks about that
brother
too.
is probably FI dominant, and he's also.
Do you know how many things I avoid? I don't know. I'm just. I respect you, and I respect you,
Maybe
and I'm
I'm
gonna think
wrong.
about it.
When I asked you how many friend groups you had, you said 7, and you listed them immediately.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I
want to be your friend. Kendrick at the end of the interview was like, I want to be your friend. Like, you are.
He said that?
Friend. Yeah. He was like, his girlfriend wasn't even on screen, and he was like, she wants to be your friend. It's like.
Well, I want to be her friend. Yeah.
Everyone wants to be your friends, and and Dave and Shannon talked about it. I'm not sure if this is an anecdotal, because I'm sure there are, but that 3s, it's like, you bring in the friends later on the projects, but it feels to me like you put out fires for friends, emotional fires, and it's hard for everyone to make friends. We're weirdos. I've had years with no friends.
Can I ask Magda and Julie's reasoning?
Magda's reasoning on what?
Sorry, Magda and Sasha. My bad. On my type, on social. And what they got and stuff. Is that okay?
Oh yeah. I'm sitting back so they can.
Okay.
Magda.
Okay, so I am not sure what social you have, but the most, let's say, the most sure I'm not sure is I probably 3. The first time on the chat you presented your audios, which were very on spot. You pointed everything that bothers you, and it was clearly 3, and that's okay. I took it as a hint to how to look at your story.
Love that.
And it was quite, how to say it, it was not clear. It was solid story about you. So 3 really fits in my perspective. I was considering 4 for some time because you are charming and lovable very much, and really it's hard to not be your friend, I believe. Like, you are like having this aura, right, that is making me like not fearing you.
Stop.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get some coffee, darling. Shit.
So you see, yeah, you joke and you are like easy going. Maybe you look like easygoing person, but maybe you are not. But
I think I am.
that
I
would
can be, yeah.
So you see, so I was considering 4 as a friend savior, because I don't really tell for sure if you are flex savior or friend savior, because you are like, I see your flex, and it might be confused flex. Like, I mean, in demon, like you may have demon flex.
That is the question.
Exactly. But if so, maybe you have it in the middle.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
it's a
do I
toughie.
see exactly? So, do I see you as a responsible savior? It's a tough question, because
Yeah.
you presented yourself as a responsibility last,
Yeah.
and I see that reasoning very like clear,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
very logically.
Yeah.
You presented it.
Yeah.
But is it your perception?
Self-perception, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I cannot say that comfortable as Julie that yes, you are too.
Mhm.
And I have, let's say, some proof
Right.
here and there. I cannot say it.
Yeah.
And I think I can't disprove to be, I really don't feel I'm that good in typing.
Right.
But,
We're all trying.
We're all learning.
Yeah.
But then when I would like to combine all I know at this moment is that I don't really
Like me.
No, I like you. No, I like you very much, but I would prefer, like, my bias, let's say, is leaning towards 3, not 2.
Yeah.
But I cannot disprove 2.
Yeah. Very guy answer.
Yeah. In this record right now, I was also considering 1, but then where is your flex, and why you are not using it to become that star that you would like to be? Like, why you are not doing anything? Like, you probably do, but there is no results.
I don't like putting myself out there. I'm very self-critical.
Yeah,
because
Sorry.
Because no, you have a point. Like, why aren't I? I should. I feel like because I'm fat again a lot of the time. I gained a lot of weight recently, so and because I like, my mind goes like, who gives a fuck? So
but you should. Your flex should
I
give
should.
a fuck.
You're right. Yeah.
Magda, can I ask you?
That's my point.
Oh, you know what it is?
Yes.
I'm okay with me thinking I'm awesome. And then I know that if I have to put the conscious effort into followers, then I have to play the game. So either I'm out of the game or I'm in the game. And if I want to be in the game, I'm going to be in the game. And I'm going to get the followers. But I've consciously been like, too stressful. I'm not even going to try. So if I don't try, I don't fail.
So would you say you're choosing happiness in the moment over your...
Sorry, Julie. Sorry, Julie, but I think that what Bley said is that he don't want to do anything, meaning he don't want to get responsibility for what is waiting for him.
I heard friends over flex. I think that you, Magda, are confusing responsibility with flex a little bit. In my opinion.
I don't see that. I think she had a good understanding of it.
But they said that 2s and 4s can be aimless, and it's because friends above flex can kind of prioritize the happiness of the moment over what Magda was talking about earlier, about how like, but the moment is always about pressing forward. And that was
True.
like a flex thing.
Yeah, and I am Melanie's twin. So Sasha, I don't think I've heard from her yet.
Wait. No, I'm sorry. Can I please
Okay.
get Magda's response on that?
Yes,
it
my
seems
bad.
like people were like, no, Julie, you're wrong. So
Oh,
I would
no,
like to
I'm
hear
sorry.
that.
I don't mean to be that way.
no, you weren't like that.
Mm,
And it's okay that other people
I-
were. I like the debate. I want to. If
Okay.
I want
Okay.
to believe you're a 3 so bad, since I'm the only one who doesn't. I like want it. Okay, sorry, Magda, please go ahead.
So I was thinking about that being aimless, and I see your point, but also 3 because of not getting responsibility for their own for anything else outside of their specialization will, let's say, fail in outside world, let's say. I'm not sure how to say it actually, but
No,
it
I
may
understand
look
what you're saying.
aimless. Yeah, thanks. It may look like aimless, but they are just stopping themselves because of that fear to accomplish like wholly what needs to be done. And it's not. It's. Do you remember when Dave or Shan, or maybe they both said about that 3s, those people who are not working and blaming government for their failures are 3s.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because they are not taking that responsibility. It may look like they
Block
are
that T.
aimless, like they should be forced, right? Because they have
Block
no
that T.
flex and are not, but they are 3s. So
Bley does
basic-
not blame anybody else but himself.
Because I am
okay,
the worst.
okay.
He's double deciding.
I know, but what I try to say
That's not what she said.
for you is that aimlessness maybe also look like 3 who doesn't take
I can
the responsibility. So
She has a
that's my
point.
point.
I don't
I'd like to
think
say
so.
something.
I will just say I don't agree with that, but I've been
Right.
talking a lot,
Sure.
so I
Okay,
disagree
so-
with that.
Yeah. So he does blame other people though, and anyone. Yeah, you do. And
Who?
anyone.
Who does he blame?
Because, and I do too, and I have my whole life. Okay. And the thing is that when I was 27, I'm 49 now. When I was 27, I sounded a lot like you. I wasn't as funny, but by the way, Melanie, I take great offense what you said about Pee Wee Herman. I'd like to stick up for him. I mean, he's a rebel, Melanie, a loner. So
No, I think Pee Wee Herman is definitely misunderstood, and I'm glad they made him an INTP and said that, because we are weird and whimsical too. We're not just scientific, and we don't look like Albert Einstein. We have an aesthetic, bitch. We have an aesthetic.
Anyway, when I was 27, and actually on multiple occasions, when I failed, I would go home. That was my safe spot, you know. And my parents kept saying, "You can come home. You can come home." I kept taking the money. I kept taking the stuff from them, and I said, "Well, okay, let me see what I'm going to specialize in now." With our OE sleep last, it's so difficult to pick a one way, and that's if we can just focus on our sleep, life would be so much easier for us. But I hear you blaming other people like I did. I would blame, my jobs, and not that they aren't at fault. There's a lot that the government's doing. There's a lot that the people at your jobs were doing. There's a lot that the companies were doing wrong, absolutely, and that they're still doing wrong, and I still completely believe that. But what we can do, and I always point that out to them, and all the time, and I've gotten it kind of in trouble for it, for speaking out and saying, this is bullshit. Your system, how you're running things, it's absolute bullshit. But I'm pointing up toward management. I'm pointing toward the corporations. I'm pointing toward all of those people. And I also saw how you kind of were like, I like to challenge the establishment, and almost in kind of like a protesty kind of way. And that's just seemed to come out very naturally for you, you know. Just and you know, I remember like listening to your audio clips when we first started talking, and I started laughing, and I mentioned to my husband, I'm like, because he's a 3 also, I'm like, this guy's us when we first met, and I'm like, do you know what he just said? And I have to tell you, I shared a couple of things you said with my husband, and he's like, yep. He's like laughing, like, yep, that's us. and I was this whole time trying to disprove that, and I was trying to prove all of the other types, and I just couldn't. I see your flex incredibly clearly, and I also see your roadblocks that you put up for yourself. And anytime, you know, something happens, you're like, well, obviously I can't move forward with this. But that's a 3 roadblock, I feel like, and that's something that I feel like is really difficult for us to get over, because we're also seeing like, oh, I have to do responsibility for the finances, I have to do responsibility for, you know, this, and this, and it's scary. You know?
Where do you see Bley's flex, if you don't mind me asking?
And like every movement he makes.
So, well, what do you define as flex? Because I'm just curious, because I see it too, but I'm curious how, like, what
he's not afraid to take credit for being awesome. You know what I mean? You know,
because I am the fuck.
Yeah, and I told you, I don't know if you saw, I said that my cat Anna was also a 3, and she's like a bigger princess than I am, and I'm like, that's cool. And I said, you actually remind me of my cat because she's so fucking cute. She, you know what I mean? Like we're both princesses, you know. I just kind of.
The thing is, a long time ago, I was like, who am I and how do I want to come across? And if I want to be an actor, I have to sell myself. And I was like, I'm a Disney villain. And that's that on that. And that's who, and I love that. And I'm not going to compromise that. If I get typecast, I want to be Lucifer, like the Hades, you know, and that's okay. And I will embrace it. And I believe we're all a villain in someone else's story. And so I embrace that shroud of whimsical darkness that
Absolutely.
I love. And
yeah,
I think, Sasha, honestly, at this point, I believe your reasoning to be very solid. And I personally feel myself struggle with friends. And I feel myself, unless, like I said, unless friends happen to me, I feel like I'm not happening to them. Yeah. Like, I've never put on birthday parties. I've never tried to go out of my way to, like, and I have a hard time just making friends, to be honest. Like, I know I'm good at it. I know I can do it. But if it's outside of my interests,
right?
God, like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm that person at a football game, dressed in all black, with a black hat, with the sunglasses, with the umbrella, minding my fucking business and making sarcastic comments. And that's okay. Like, I've embraced that I'm that persona. I'm a lovable asshole, and that's what I heard from people. It's like, like, you're so good to be around, but you're also an asshole. Like, I'm blunt, and I'm just okay with saying the truth and getting away with it. I'm definitely that person, but I'm also that friend oftentimes that other people need to warn other people about. Oh, you're gonna meet Bley. Sorry, he's a little, you know what I mean? He's a little controversial or whatever the fuck. Because for me, being in parties and stuff, or like, let's say I'm surrounded by jocks, I will be the nastiest person in the world, and like, I will make them laugh, but because I'm being so evil and horrible to all of the meathead jocks people's
you sound like my husband,
you know, and I will make them hate their interactions with me, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't put friends being above what I like and what I don't like. I'm more, you know, I like to come with a warning label, because often people will also put me in this box of he's always going to be supportive, he's going to be the shoulder to cry on, blah blah blah, and then I know I'm not going to meet that expectation. I'm going to be like, girl, really? You know what I mean? Like, there's a limit. There's an FE tank, and I spend,
Yes.
and so, you know, in high school, I had friends break up with me and then stop talking to me because they're like, oh, I thought you were this, and this, and then they describe some lapdog, and I'm like, no, I'm a sentient being. Yes, I'm girly. Yes, I'm, you know, cunty, but I also tell you what I fucking think and when you're being stupid. And I do love arguing.
Like,
so
when Bley and I
like, in my head, I don't think I put friends first, but again, that's
that was a lot of
and that's,
friends talk. That was
But-
a lot of friends talk.
But like, it's like, so whether or not Bley and I personally were friends or not, I am going, like, so if Bley says a comment or whatever, I'm gonna go, oh my god, that might offend Julie. Oh my god. So then I'll go, Bley, you can't say that. Like,
Decider
Bley,
though.
fine, but I'm looking at everybody at all times. I want everybody's time to be respected. Like, I'm thinking very deeply of how the clock is ticking. I can fucking hear it ticking. You know what I mean? Because of everybody. Like, I'm thinking of everybody's everything at all times. Bley is gonna be Bley. And that's why, like, because, like, whatever, whether we're friends or not, like, this person is not thinking of, like, does Julie need to now, like, does Julie's, like, son want to hang out with her right now? Like, he's here because he, like, we asked him to come here. Like, I'm going, is Sasha want to hang out with her husband? Like, Magda, is it getting really fucking late? Like, I can't stop thinking about everybody's everything. Like, I'm like, Bley, like, you probably have other shit going on. Like, number two, with our functions or in general, like, we cannot stop thinking about everybody's fucking everything, and it's maddening. Like,
yeah, I don't give a fuck.
To be taken care of, and I think Bley cares about people, obviously, but, like, I don't think he's losing his shit over all of this.
No, if you want to leave,
But
leave.
he's
like,
not
I
a
just
decider.
Think, like, you know,
Yeah,
I know
if you
he
wanna
just
leave.
No, I know.
I'm
I just
like,
wanted to see, but I'm just saying.
I'll do me, you do you, bitch. If you have, when
Right.
people have a problem with me and they're coy about it, oh my god, that irks me. Bitch, tell me what the fuck. I'd rather you yell in my fucking face than ignore me and pretend like, oh my god, I'll strangle you.
Ignoring me is the
Like,
worst. Ignoring me is the worst thing you can do. I think I've even said that on the pod. I know I've said it to the girls. I don't know if we were recording, but ignoring me, it's like, yell at me, do whatever, but the most hurtful thing is to ignore me.
Yeah.
That is. Deep
and also
within
be
me.
coy. Don't be coy with when I offended you. Be like, oh, you know, I don't know. I feel like I was just always in school and stuff. I feel like friends are an afterthought for sure. And I hang out with Melanie. She's like, do you need snacks? I have a charger. Oh, I brought you this fake blunt if you need a blunt to smoke or whatever.
Really be
or,
like that.
She
You don't have to
thinks
edit it
of
out.
everything, and she's so prepared for needs and
SI.
for making sure we have the. I have SI too, and I have MSI. You know, and so I have. But the thing is, I have my bag of my tools. I know I'm going to need my hairspray. I know I'm going to need
That's
my
true.
Tums.
That's
I
true.
know I'm going to need. You know what I'm saying? I know what I need.
That's true.
The fuck.
You have
And
your
so I
SI.
have what I
I mean,
need.
this way I can see a number two.
What?
This is where I can see number two. It's just like you're
But
your own.
he's getting it for himself,
Yeah.
though.
Right. But like, yeah, but like I could see. So that's where I would go. Okay, this is where I can go. Yes, I agree. I can see a number two where you're like gonna be your own island. Like, because I feel like at the end of the day, it's always about that. Number two, I feel like, is also doing it for the entire. Like, once we bring our island into contact with other islands, we're also making sure the other island has the fucking whatever, the fucking coconuts or some shit. Like, I don't know.
But
whatever.
you're gonna make sure we're gonna have a bomb ass time. Every time I go out with you, she makes sure we have a bomb time, and I'm not even thinking about it.
But you do, but you said, and it's later in that video, it's like, so you're talking about your hairspray. This is my SI that I always have to have my hairspray, my clothes. And you said, when other people are over, oh, hell no, you're not leaving my house like that. You
Ew.
are... I
That's
am
because
getting
I'm
you
not going to be
my
associated
SI.
with
Yes.
someone who looks
Need it.
gross. I don't want to be associated with a fucking slob.
that is true.
I don't want to be around a fucking slob, and I don't want people to look at me and think I'm okay being around with a slob. Like someone, like, I don't want to be associated with that.
True.
That feels like Friends. That feels like you're like pulling others in to be like telling Magda,
No,
like who
that's
is
like
You won't let Bley say who he really is right now. Like, he is that. Like, he is aesthetic, and that's why I happen to have acquired this, and we fucking bond over this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you won't,
no, and
you won't tell you this is the truth. Like,
yeah.
And that's the thing. If
His
like,
TI
sure, I will
is
solve
awesome.
that problem, but you know, just don't be gross. Like, why would I want to be associated with a gross person? Hello?
like, I know I'm like getting really like passionate about it, but it's like, it's not even like, you don't even have to say it. Like, you just are that. Like, everything that you're saying.
And you know, I feel like being Brazilian and having lived in so many places, I've had to learn, Julie, to be really nice. I've had to learn and take time to not argue everything, to not, you know, because
Me too.
I feel like if this was 7 years ago, I would be arguing with you right now. I'd be like,
Wait, who is arguing the most out of anyone here?
What?
Who is arguing the most out of all of the femmes here? The
Angelina
lead
Jolie.
Friends person.
Yes.
I
Well,
have
the thing
always
but it's
been
only because
so
your opinion differs.
argumentative. And
But
I
the
have
way
had to
you're
learn
going-
how to have friends too. I'm still lead masculine TI. And I
That's T. That's T. That's
lead
T.
masculine T. Yeah. I am still
T.
that. And I am the most argumentative one here. I'm doing the most arguing.
Well, okay.
But you like double decide it. It's like they're saying it's friends and it's flex, and I'm like, this is actually what I do, except I'm a decider. And
Can I raise a point?
Can't. Yes, please.
So one point, I know this is anecdotal. Suck my ass. Okay, get a straw, suck my ass. Since I was young, I hate smiling pictures. I've never smiled in pictures. You can look through every single picture. I want to look mean.
This was me when I was a kid.
No, but that's even me now. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like,
It's true. You're not friends first.
You know, you can look up any, like, most 90% of the pictures on me. I will be like,
this was me, not even kidding. My mom and I, so many fights where I was just like, my
and that's your
whole
TI.
childhood.
I know, and that's your IP.
My whole childhood.
But I'm saying, like, if we're going by how you want to appear, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, like, I want to be, not that, it's so confusing because it's like, I don't want people to think I'm evil and mean, and I'm not. I like the idea of, oh, he's the eccentric, I sound like an idiot. I really do.
No, I love it.
I think
You use
quality.
it.
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No
I
matter
feel like
what,
Sasha was going to say something.
no matter what, I think we all love how you use your friends and flex, right? That's something I think we can all agree on. We love how you use your friends and flex, right? Yeah. Sorry, Sasha, yes?
I don't remember.
I wanted to, you know what was funny? I wanted to grow my hair out. I still might do it. I want to grow my hair out and then dye it white. Because I feel like white hair is so cool.
Yeah.
That platinum white moment.
Well, I love your hair color, so
Thank you.
I don't know. I adore it. So
I'm trying to think of the reason why I'm like, it's so hard to like see what Julie is seeing. Because it's like, that's why I'm getting like really like impassioned about it, because it's like,
I feel like I'm so comfortable being financially insecure that it's hard for me to see responsibility. And it's something I don't like about myself. I wish I was more jobby.
I wish I was more jobby. Every other minute, Melanie's like, I have another job. And I'm like, girl, go off. Like, since I've known her, she's missed jobs. Like, you know what I mean? Steve Jobs found dead in a ditch, bitch. She's so jobby. And I feel like that's something that I see in my siblings. They're also like, how can you not work? How can you not be making so much money? Like, we're making so much money. And they're just always picking up. They'll give themselves chores. They will give themselves chores and then be mad that I didn't do the random chore that they gave themselves. I decided to clean the bathroom. Well, bitch, it barely needed to be clean. You decided to do it. Why are you mad at me for not doing this random chore that you made up in your mind? You know what I'm saying? And so that's the way I see twos, or I feel like they're two, is that they'll be in the house, they'll be bored, they will give themselves responsibilities and just take random things. Oh, I just saw this random corner of the room is so dusty. Why isn't no one cleaning it? Why is no one cleaning that ever? I am going to do it and be mad at everyone for not doing it. I'm like, girl, you chose to give yourself this job and now you're mad at everyone else. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Julie, what do you define as responsibility in Bley's case? Like, where do you, like, what would be the definition of it? Like, kind of how I asked Sasha what flex is. Well, I'm not sure what that means.
And so, okay, for me, it's all the different, well, but we discussed that I feel like he's done so many different things. I get that they're all artists things. I think that they are far different skill sets.
You have a point.
Yeah.
Do you think he's taking the responsibility in the form of different,
I think that you have a double observing responsibility where you can see what needs, like my husband is a 3, and that was pretty easy to come to terms with, because since he's been typed, I've been like, how is he different than Jocko? And I've been noting all the differences, and then it was like, this came up, and I'm like, that's how my husband's different than Jocko. But it's like, he runs around doing a lot of things, and I know that responsibility.
Wait, your husband?
Sorry, I'm trying to get there. Go ahead.
No, you said your husband does, or Bley runs around.
My husband runs around doing things. He play, consume, blast. He's still he gets pulled in by the tribe and is just running around all the time, and I was seeing a lot of responsibility in myself, and and I feel like that's why we see all that flex. But anyway, because I'm the one that's like, let's do this or whatever. But I see it in all the different gigs. I see it in the fires. Like I said, I think that you, Melanie, I think your fires are more physical, and I think that his fires are more emotional. He's taking care of others whenever they're around. He doesn't want to.
No.
He doesn't want to. But that's just it, right?
Am I the family therapist? Yes, I am.
And for me as a 4, it's like I get frustrated sometimes that I have to go get pulled in by people because I'm gonna get emotional. Fuck. Ugh.
I get it. I feel like, so David Shan says that according to what's around you, you kind of fill the hole that needs to be filled. I feel like both of my parents have strong DI, and so that's why I kind of have to play the EJ role within their marriage sometimes and be like, this is what this person is saying. But also, Shan always labels us ENTPs, specifically my type, as a super double decider, and I do relate to Dave a lot in the way that he doubles decides so quickly. But what I don't relate to Dave is I feel like he's like, I see the doer kind of vibe. The doer. I'm not a doer. I'm so sedentary. I might as well be a tree.
Yes.
I have a question, because you are so specific about what works for you, which may be TI, but maybe also specializing. And I was wondering about if two could have so specific system for self, because specializing last is lacking of those systems for self.
Yeah.
So What do you think, Julie or Melanie?
You said
do you?
I will say I differ from you guys in that I do have masculine SI, and I feel like but that's the only thing I'll add.
You said specializing does not have those systems. I didn't hear that.
Yes. Yeah. Twos suffer from a lack of system that works for them, because they are working for like they are outside and don't remember about own problems, so don't resolve own
Yes.
like don't address own issues, so they are not having a system that works for them. And I think that Bley have those systems for himself, which sound kind of like specialization, but if he would be the two, then specializing last. So meaning lacking of system for himself that would work for him. So I'm thinking, what do you think about that approach of Bley being one?
Tell me about your system of working as a
I'm
photographer.
so specific.
How about can we get? Is that a good question, Magda? Like, how about what is your system for photography?
Okay. Well, photography, I like to. I mean, a better question would be that question in general. I have a lot of systems for me. I only wear black because I don't want to have to spend time choosing the clothes and matching up the colors. And if the colors don't match up together, it bothers me a lot. And I don't I feel really uncomfortable when I'm out of the house and I'm not wearing something up to par with what I want to wear. So if I'm outside of the house and I'm not wearing something that I feel comfortable in and it doesn't match, I will feel very uncomfortable with myself. So I created a system in which I barely have to match the clothes and it always all goes together. That was a great question, Magda, because I feel like that's why I thought I was on the spectrum as well. Because if I'm outside the house and things aren't going exactly how my system is and how I need things to be, I will freak out. I'll freak out. Like, I need things to be the way that I've already thought extensively about how I feel uncomfortable with tight clothes. So all of my clothes fit a specific, won't hug me in any place. I thought extensively about how much I hate heat. So I will go to lengths to avoid hot things. I've thought extensively about the jewelry I put on my body and making it sterling silver. You know, just like everything I do, I feel like is systematic so I won't freak out. And I feel like in situations where the environment is unpredictable and noisy and overstimulating and I don't have a lot of control, I feel extremely anxious. I barely like concerts. In fact, I usually suffer. I don't do public crowds really well at all because I just can't control it.
Unless you're on stage. You said you loved connecting with people.
Stage.
You said you loved connecting with people when you're the one on stage.
Because there's a position. The positions are laid out clear. When the position is clear and the social lines aren't like blurry and like you talked about networking, like that kind of shit is blurry to me. I don't know, like if I'm promoting myself, I'm going to have to be in front of a boardroom and I'm going to have to be told this is the time to promote myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to just do it. I feel like that's tacky. And it's like, and that might sound like it's low flex, but I feel like I don't want to have, like meeting a celebrity, I don't want to meet them as a fan. I want to meet them as a fellow celebrity, if that makes sense. So I don't even approach them.
I was thinking about that. You want to be to perform rather than be in the crowd, and that I had a thought that it may be like you don't want to connect with the crowd, but be the queen for the crowd, like a flex kind of way. But it's just a thought that pop out right now.
I will say the way you spoke about your clothes there reminded me of talking about trying to keep my schedule. Do you guys remember when I talked about my schedule and how I'm like trying to figure that out? Oh, I'm sorry. It reminded me of that, but who knows? Like, I'm just, it could be just our functions. But I've been processing, like, why am I so controlling and OCD about my schedule? And, like, I've tried to bring it up so many times to the femmes, and nobody else seems to, like, have anywhere near as much, anything close to that. My weird SI thing is my schedule. Like, my daily schedule, and, like, it's
okay. So for me, one thing that I did think, like, this thing that we were doing today, I knew I was going to have a good time, but it felt like a responsibility in my head. So my head was literally creating reasons to escape it. Yeah. Because it was something I had to do, something I was committed to doing. So in my head, I'm like, how can I get rid of this responsibility? It's like I'm allergic to them. So it's like even a doctor's appointment that I'll have within, like, let's say I have one in 2 days. I will just escape artist. And it's with anything. It's with a job interview. It's something since I was really young, and it's something I don't like about myself, and that I'm trying to change. But when somebody's like, hey, can I call you, whatever, it immediately feels like responsibility, immediately feels like something I have to avoid, immediately feels like something I have to do, and I'm being controlled, and I can't decide what I'm going to do with my time. Like, I spent the day waiting, the entire day waiting for this, like the entire day preparing, and not because you're special, Sasha. Not because I like you.
The fact that I'm special is an aside, okay.
No, it's because it's so all-consuming to me. Like, and I have to fight and avoid, like, the need to shrug it off and to make up an excuse and to mastermind my way out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Understand.
Thank you for being with us, then.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Yeah, well, no matter what, yeah, it was fun. I appreciate
this
debate.
was really fun, Julie.
Yeah.
And Julie, listen, I didn't mean to make you feel like we're all against you, like attacked or anything. I respect your opinion. I listened to everything that you said, and I thought it was really good reasoning.
Thank you. No, I really felt like you really
reasoning.
Considered what I said. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Julie, you made the show much more interesting. If all of us just thought he was a 3, we'd be like, okay, he's a 3. Bye, everybody.
Absolutely. I loved it, and you need pushback. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I love your background. You're all so pretty, and I had such a great time, you guys.
You're so beautiful, too.
Thank you. Yes.
When I was watching you with my husband a little bit, I was like, he's pretty handsome. My husband was like, yeah, he is.
Oh, give me his number. Call me. I'm singies.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Do we need to do the vote? It sounds like you guys are all, yeah, I'll put it.
Let's sleep on it.
I had a great time, and whenever you want to do this again, just let me know. And Sasha, you're lovely. Melanie, you know I hate you, bitch. Magda, it was wonderful, and you're very insightful. You're very intelligent. I can tell Magda's really smart, and I'm intimidated. I love it. And Julie, you're so pretty and so fun.
Thanks. Everyone's really smart. Julie's pretty.
Julie, you're pretty. Like, you have to work on the brain side. You know, rub those 2 brain cells a little harder. You know what I mean? They're working hard. Work them a little harder.
All right, thanks so much, Bley. Yeah. Although Melanie and Magda, come on, you got to do it. You got to do something.
Do it.
Oh no! Like
no, the number that he is.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. Let's sleep on it. Bye.
I love you guys. I had such a good time.
Love you, Bley.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.